our Project Skyway initiators, ambassadors, captains, mavericks, my parents, my sister, her husband, his sisters. But I'm saving that speech for the Oscars. Instead, I'm going to share with you my little adventure in Paris. I always wanted to see Paris, so finally after our boot camp weekend last month, I went there for a week. It's a beautiful city. It's old, it's rich, very romantic. Now some of you might know I'm from Istanbul. I was born and raised in Istanbul. It's also a big city, very old, historic city. At age 25, I moved to Twin Cities. Now this is where I live. Yes. Now growing up in Turkey, I always wondered, how come some cities survive and some don't? Now this is not an American concept because we have, our cities are like 200 years old, 300 years old. And where I come from, the whole land is full of skeletons of cities. Ancient ruins of cities once they were rich, powerful. They had hundreds of thousands of people. Ephesus used to be, at its time, bigger than Istanbul. But how come we are visiting and looking at the stones while Istanbul has 15 million people and it's growing? And people keep flooding into Istanbul. Now I thought, I'm sure natural disasters, earthquakes, floods, that makes a difference, right? This is also in Turkey. It's another antique city. Some people think this is Atlantis. It is sunk, and you can even swim through the city. It's very cool. And we have some examples here in the United States, New Orleans. I mean, even in Minnesota, we have some examples. Every year we hear, the river is flooding. If the river floods every year, maybe that city is not supposed to be there. Yeah. Or sometimes the city leaders make mistakes. Like this one here. Once upon a time, it used to be the most powerful city in the world, most beautiful city. Now this is what is left of it. And it's because the city leader decided to bring that horse into the city. And you know the history. And I'm glad we don't have that guy as our mayor. For cities to survive and thrive, you need two things. You need to have people and money. It's kind of chicken and egg. I mean, you have to have money so you can build pyramids and temples and churches so people can keep coming. And Paris is a great example of that. I mean, that city had a lot of money. They're so rich. I mean, the buildings, this is Pantheon. These are all night pictures, by the way. I like night pictures. And they spent, I don't know how much money, but they built a gorgeous city. It's very romantic. And now millions of people are going to Paris every year because it's the most romantic city in the world, right? So walking in the streets in Paris, I was kind of thinking, how can Twin Cities compete with Paris? How can we become the most romantic city in the world? I mean, after all, if it is just about money, right? What if we had $1 billion? I'm serious. They are going to spend $1 billion to build a metro. What if we take that money and compete with Paris? And we'll have millions of people. In Paris, after French, the biggest population is Americans. Everybody goes there. And the city gets richer and richer. So I was thinking, $1 billion, we can build something bigger than Eiffel Tower and all that stuff. And then I went to Musée d'Orsay, and this is only one of many museums in Paris. And then I realized, even with $1 billion, we couldn't buy 1/3 of the art in this museum. All the Picassos and Van Goghs. It's just amazing, and this is only one of the museums. And then I start to think about Minnesotans kissing on the streets like they're in their bedroom, and I just decided, okay, maybe that's not going to work. So I gave up on that dream. While I was there, I also met their first and only accelerator program in the whole France. And this is Paul and Nathaniel, and they are the French version of Don and Kyle. Great guys. And under Silicon Sentier, there's the co-working space called La Cantine, and they're managing that. And there's also the accelerator program called Le Camping. And we were talking, and I found a lot of similarities to our situation. I mean, we are also partnering with a co-working space. This is also their first cycle this summer, just like us. And interestingly, they were also placed in their trade exchange building. Isn't that coincidence? So I was walking around, and they were kind of questioning, and they were saying, well, we have 1,200 square feet in the trade exchange building. How about you? I said, we have 16,000 square feet. And we have the trade exchange floor, Mr. Frenchman. Then, you know, I realized maybe we can't beat Paris in romance, but we are head-to-head with them when it comes to fostering innovation. And I started to dream about having $1 billion and, you know, giving it to 1,000 companies, millionaire each, 1,000 startups. I mean, in 5 years we'll beat Silicon Valley. But that's a dream. So here, where we are, right now, right at the edge of downtown Minneapolis. Here's our university East Campus. Here's the West Campus. Here's my $1 billion sitting right in the middle. Right between where the ideas are generated and our business district. I'm not going to hold my breath on that $1 billion. But this is where we start. This is where we start building density. This is where we start creating serendipitous moments among our entrepreneurial community. I'm going to share a little clip with you. Okay, and that's actually not what I mean when I say density, okay? And it looks like there are a lot of serendipitous moments right there. That was December 19, 2008. After 125 years, grain exchange floor traded last time. Okay, those were the last moments. And now tonight, we are opening it again as the grain exchange floor. Thank you for coming and celebrating with us this historic moment. Enjoy your night.